I'm pretty sure that the one thing all of us MHA fans can agree on is that the current MHA story is great, but I'm pretty sure another thing we can all agree on is the fact that if Izuku stayed quirkless and became some sort of vigilante Batman-like hero, that would have been great to watch too. So I scoured the internet until I found an awesome Wattpad by the creator Gigi Haha, and he made an incredible story which I just had to share. Make sure to check out his links, they will be in the comment down below and also in the description. That said though, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys enjoyed this story and you guys want on part 2, then definitely make sure to smash the like goal of 1,000 likes. I haven't said a like goal in a while and I'm not sure if you guys could do it, but if you could, it'd be cool to get proved wrong. That said though, ladies and gentlemen, do all that basic YouTube stuff like subscribing, liking the video, and turning on those post notifications so you never miss another part. And with that said, enjoy.
Hey Ross, sauce it up.
No, kid, you can't be a hero, All Might said. Midoriya was crushed by the man he looked up to since he was a kid. He fell to his knees and cried. Then Midoriya stood up and looked at All Might dead in the eye, sending a cold chill down All Might's spine. Midoriya gave him a look of pure hatred. I hate you, Midoriya said while pointing at All Might. All Might just looked at Midoriya sadly. I'll show you that I can be a hero. I don't need a stupid quirk. Then, Midoriya stormed off. I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to be a hero or a villain. I also don't want to just stand by anymore. What can I be? Midoriya thought, as he ran into his house ignoring his mom and running straight to his room. He grabbed one of the All Might figures he had and he stared at it for a while before snapping it. He slammed the figure on the ground. He lost it at that moment and tore up every single All Might themed item he had in his room, which was quite a lot. What a mess, Midoriya thought as he looked around his room. He didn't notice, but his mom was pounding on the door, crying the whole time. He opened the door and she immediately hugged Midoriya. Then she let go and looked around his room. What happened? Inko said. Midoriya then opened his mouth to speak but couldn't get out any words before he started crying right in front of his mother. She went to hug, but he yelled no, which caused her to jump a bit. Zuzu? Midoriya's nickname. It's okay. I'm not mad at the mess. We can clean it together. It's not that, Mom. It's... I can't do this anymore, Mom. All Might just told me I couldn't be a hero. He looked at his mom with tears streaming down his eyes and she hugged him tightly as she said, You can be a hero, Zuzu. Midoriya pushed away, which shocked Inko. I don't want to be a hero anymore, Mom. I don't want to be a villain either, or a bystander. Inko wide-eyed by what Midoriya said. She sighed and said, Why not become a vigilante? Like me. A vigilante? Wait, what's a vigilante? You're a vigilante? Why didn't I know about this? Asked Midoriya, who had calmed down and was in pure shock. Inko laughed a bit at the sudden questions. A vigilante is someone who saves people like a hero, but they do it against the law. I'm a vigilante, and honestly, Izuku, I didn't tell you because I didn't know if you could handle it. I'm sorry. Izuku would immediately say, I'm in. What? No, Zuzu, it's dangerous, Inko said while grabbing Midoriya's shoulders and shaking them a bit. And he would say, then train me, with determination in him, which Inko saw and said, fine, let's get started then. Inko said as she let go of Midoriya's shoulders and reached her hand out to Midoriya, waiting for him to grab it. He cautiously did so, and as soon as he did, she threw him over the shoulder. What? He gasped for air. You're going to need to stay on alert at all times. Grab my hand again. No tricks this time. I promise, Zuzu, Inko said while smiling. Midoriya slapped her hand away and got himself up as she clapped while saying, You learned. Good. Let's go. Inko then motioned Midoriya to follow her, and he did so cautiously. You know how to get to that beach with lots of trash on it, Zuzu? Inko asked Midoriya. He nodded. Good. Meet you there, she said while getting into the car, locking the doors, and she rolled the window down a bit and said, You need to work on your stamina, Zuzu. Run there. I'll be waiting. She sped off towards the beach. I want this, Izuku thought. I need this, as he was running, already 2 minutes in, struggling. About 30 minutes later and 3 miles afterwards, he would finally make it to the beach, sweating like an animal. Inko was now doing push-ups. And let's just pretend that Inko isn't chubby, okay? Let's say that she's just as fit as she once was before Izuku got the news, right? She noticed him and stood up saying, "You took a while there, didn't you? You sure you want to do this, Zuzu?" Inko said, and he would say, "Yeah, I need this." And this was the start of Inko Midoriya and Deku becoming the greatest vigilantes ever. Okay, look. Oh, okay, author's note. If a pop is said, the pop will only last until the next topic appears. Example, Inko pop starts blah, 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 blah. 500 years later, pop stops here. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Midoriya... had a burp. Okay, Midoriya had went to the beach early to clean, but the beach... Wait, what? Okay, no, my bad. Midoriya had went to the beach early to clean out the beach. And yes, the whole beach. He knew it would be difficult, but 3 months had passed since he started training and he was going to do it. He was going to prove her wrong. Flashback to yesterday. I said, "Zuzu, I wonder if you could learn to clean this whole beach. I haven't been able to do it. Honestly, I don't really have the determination to try." Midoriya was doing sit-ups and stopped. "What? Am I a maid now? I thought this was vigilante training," Midoriya said sarcastically. I giggled and said, "Funny. Wow, very funny, Izuku. Very funny." I then said under my breath, "Not like you'd be able to do it anyways." I made sure to say it loud enough for Zuzu to hear, which is exactly what I wanted. Midoriya looked at me a bit angry, and I smirked as I watched him in my peripheral vision, and I was shocked to see his eyes fill with determination. I realized he was going to clean this beach. I knew that he'd prove me wrong. That's what I love about my little Izuku. Anyways, I said let's head home and I'll make us some food. "How does that sound, Izuku?" I said while turning to him. He seemed to be zoned out, so I walked up to him and waved my hand in front of his face. He snapped out of it immediately and he looked at me as I laughed a bit and said, "Let's go home, Zuzu. It's 9 p.m. I don't know about you, but I'm starving." Present time. As I was thinking about the incident from yesterday, by the way, this is Midoriya's POV, I reached the beach in 5 minutes. I was shocked but didn't waste any time. I started cleaning. It was about 4 a.m. She'd be here by 6 a.m. and I definitely have enough time. I hope so, thought Midoriya. 2 hours later, he would think to himself, I knew he'd do it. Or sorry, Inko would think to herself, as she saw the whole beach clean from all trash. Midoriya saw Inko and stumbled toward her. He tripped from being so exhausted. Luckily, Inko caught himself and he said, "See, I did it, Mom. You underestimated me." He immediately passed out due to exhaustion, and Inko ran her fingers through his hair and carried him to the car to the house and laid him in his bed. She had to go out on patrol tonight, so she took the car and went up to the beach back to train and arrived back home at about 6 p.m. I need to eat before patrol or I'll be rusty tonight, Inko thought, as she opened the front door, and when she saw Midoriya had already cooked something for her. Some pasta. She sighed and went up to Midoriya and gave him a pat on the head a bit and said, "I'm truly grateful to have a son like you, Izuku. I mean it." She said that last part sternly but with care at the same time. She ate and headed out for patrol. Midoriya soon after, she went to bed. Morning time would finally roll around 5 a.m. and in Midoriya's POV, we would see him waking up. I immediately went to my mom's room to see her laying there. I sighed relieved. I was about to walk out when I heard my mom say, "You do this every morning, Zuzu. I won't get caught. I still have to train you. No one, and I mean no one, will stop me from continuing to train you, Izuku." I sighed and said, "I know, but I just get worried, okay, Mom? You've been becoming more of a target to those heroes. They sent Hawks after you, the 4th top hero," I said, raising my voice a bit. "Did I get caught though?" "No," I said, as he put my head down in shame since I technically did just doubt my own mother. "Exactly. Your mama's not going to get caught anytime soon. So don't worry, Izuku," she said as she got up and stretched. She walked towards me while I continued to hang my head down in shame. She then lifted me up, forcing me to look at her and said, "Zuzu, don't ever doubt me. Also, meet me on the couch. We need to have a talk," she said sternly, which caused me to worry. In Midoriya's room, why did she say that so sternly? Am I in trouble for cleaning the beach? She didn't seem mad. Is she going to stop training me? Because it's too dangerous? Is she that mad at me for doubting her? Maybe she's going to criticize my pasta cooking skills. I was interrupted by my mom yelling, "You're mumbling again, Izuzu. Hurry up, we don't have all day." I quickly ran downstairs to the couch she was sitting on. "I can't believe you still mumble out loud, Zuzu. I thought it was just a nervous reaction. Anyways, let's get down to business." I sat down next to her and she looked at me with serious eyes. I was terrified. She took a deep breath and said, "Zuzu, it's time we patrol the night together. As you said this morning, I am being hunted more often. I know this will put you at risk, so I got you a costume already, even a mask with a voice changer. Sweet, right?" I didn't know what to say. I was excited and nervous at the same time. She continued, "The reason I'm doing this is because I don't want to get caught all of a sudden and leave you without knowing how to patrol whatsoever. So no matter what you say, you're coming tonight. At 6 p.m., your costume. It's in your closet already. So yes, that means no training today. You ready?" I was shocked but more excited and said, "Ready as I'll ever be, Mom, or should I say, Moon?" I said, grinning. "Good. I have a feeling it's going to be a hectic night, Izuku. Or should I say, Reject. Oh, in case you didn't know what Izuku and Inko would look like, look at the photo near the beginning." Okay, there's a photo near the beginning, and I'm going to look at it, and you guys won't look at it because, I'm too lazy to put the picture in. Anyways, continuing on the story, Chapter 3, Patrol. Okay, so Midoriya's costume is basically just a mask, voice changer, and a really thick battle-like hoodie. It's made out of a thick material that I'm pretty sure won't rip, right? And that's pretty much it. He has combat boots and all that other stuff. 7 hours later, it'd be 12 a.m. I'm a bit worried for tonight. Going on patrol for the first time was a big deal. Okay, maybe I was being a bit overdramatic, but still, I'm nervous, Midoriya thought. Midoriya decided to go out and train even though he didn't have to. He couldn't handle being cooped up in his room, waiting for the time to come, so he wanted to go to the beach and train some random skills in order to get his mind off. I was running to the beach when I bumped into someone in a hoodie. I said, "My bad. Sorry." I turned to see who it was and I saw none other than Katsuki Bakugo. I panicked a bit, then tried to continue to run off when he grabbed my arm. "Deku, you nerd! What are you doing here?" "Yep, still the same Kachan," thought Midoriya. "Please stop yelling. I'm going somewhere. It's really none of your concern, Kachan." Bakugo looked taken aback by Midoriya's sudden change in personality, which angered Bakugo even more. After all, they used to be childhood friends. Flashback to 1 year ago. Also, warning for a bit of bullying. The class roared after Bakugo's rude comment saying, "You all will probably end up with some lame hero ass being their sidekick, while I become the #1 hero." Bakugo was impressed with himself as he was the only one able to attend UA, the best hero school in all of Japan. Or so he thought. "Midoriya, you're also going to be attending UA, correct?" "Deku! Attending UA? Funny joke, teacher. You can't be. A quirkless hero? Huh, that's never been heard of," Bakugo said. The whole class started to laugh at Midoriya, agreeing with Bakugo. "Yeah, I'll be attending UA, Bakugo. I'll be a pro hero." To which Bakugo would glare at him at the thought and then shoot an explosion at him. The bell rang and Midoriya was going to grab his notebook when Bakugo suddenly took it. "What's in here, he said while opening the notebook. Midoriya got up, tried to grab it, but Bakugo simply put his hand out and blasted Midoriya, sending him towards the wall. I hate this powerful quirk." Explosion stopped Midoriya. He studied his quirk and many of his other classmates' quirk. Is that you, Bakugo? What is this, some kind of analysis of him? Wait, is that our other classmates?" said Bakugo's friend. Bakugo didn't really consider people friends. He was just popular and gained them naturally. "What a nerd, right, Bakugo?" "Got that right, dipshit," Bakugo said as he blasted the notebook towards the wall. "You can be a hero, Midoriya. Try becoming a police officer or something realistic for your kind. If that isn't good enough, go take a swan dive off the building and hope for a better quirk in your next life." With that, they left, and we would then jump back to present time. Bakugo was about to yell at Midoriya when a red-headed and yellow-headed male, possibly friend, came and calmed Bakugo down. Midoriya just stood there checking the time. It was 3 p.m. He only had 3 hours till patrol. He looked up and was about to walk away when the yellow-headed male said, "Yo, who are you?" Didn't know Bakugo had childhood friends. The yellow-headed male said while elbowing Bakugo a bit. Midoriya stayed silent. "He isn't my friend. We just know each other." Bakugo shouted at his 2 friends who laughed it off. "I better get going. Sorry for bumping into you, Bakugo. I hope we don't run into each other again, honestly." With that, Midoriya left Bakugo and his friends in shock. He had trained at the beach for 2 hours, making it home at 5 p.m., an hour before the big event of the day, patrolling. He put his costume on and he then met his mother in the kitchen, and they both ate. Izuku, when we're both on patrol, we need to be alert at all times. You will refer to me by my vigilante name and I'll do the same for you. If they find out we are related by blood, or if someone slips up a name, we're screwed. Understand? Understand, Mom. Good. Inko reached into a bag and pulled out a mask and said, put it on. It'll cover your face. I even added in a voice changer. Inko said with a wink. Sweet, Midoriya said. He put it on and said, hello? His voice seemed deeper. Whoa, this is cool. Thanks, Mom. The voice changer would switch. Ready, Reject? Inko said. Of course I am, Moon. In an alley. Okay, Reject, go to that roof. I'll go to the one across, Inko said. We'll point to the roof that Midoriya was going to go to. Go. Got it. Midoriya got on the roof and heard his phone buzz. Inko texted him. Not fast enough. Izuku replied, whatever, lol. And with that, Midoriya put his phone away, giggling a bit from the small conversation. He heard her scream and he looked at his mom, who motioned for him to go. He was going to do this by himself. Midoriya quickly ran to the alley where the incident was happening, and it was a mother and possibly her daughter being robbed. Midoriya ran towards the man and he didn't seem to notice Midoriya till the last second. Midoriya jabbed the man in the throat and kicked the stomach. Immediately, he went unconscious. Midoriya then turned to the mother and little girl and said, you guys hurt? They shook their heads no, and he gave them a thumbs up and said, if you guys have a phone, can you call the cops telling them this location? They did as Midoriya said. Midoriya grabbed the pen out of his pocket and wrote, Reject was here, on the unconscious man's forehead, and he then heard silence and climbed on the side of the building before looking at his mother and possible daughter and giving them a two-fingered salute and then disappearing. He went back to his roof, seeing if his mom wasn't there, and she was probably dealing with her own trouble. That's when he heard a snap behind him. He got up and turned around, dodging an attack by sidestepping it. He grabbed the person's arm and kicked the person's legs out from under them. The person began landing on their face. Midoriya then pressed the arm against the person's back, about to break it. It's just me, Reject. Calm down before you break my arm, Inko said. Midoriya got off of Inko and said, sorry, Moon. Next time don't scare me. Maybe, Midoriya said with a smirk, which in turn got Inko to roll her eyes. I'm tired. I took out 3 people, Inko said. How about you, Reject? I took down one robber, Midoriya said, a bit annoyed that he was smacked on the back of the head. Ow! What was that for, Moon? Inko laughed at Midoriya. They then both heard a noise behind them. They turned around, quickly getting into a fighting stance to see pro hero Racerhead, Present Mike, and even Midnight. Shit, Inko and Midoriya said in unison. As from here, they both gotta fight. Chapter 4. Hunted. 1 week ago at UA. I wonder why that rat called this meeting. What is it going to be about? Probably something boring. I just want to sleep, Aizawa thought, as he walked over to Principal Nezu's office. Aizawa opened the door to see Nezu, Midnight, and Present Mike. Aizawa really hates them. They're way too loud. Nice to see you can make it, Eraserhead. Sit, please. We need to talk, Nezu said sternly. What's so important that you had to call me in during class, Nezu? Aizawa said, annoyed. I'll get to the point. Moon, the upcoming Vigilante. I want you 3 to capture her. She's been around for way too long. 3 years to be exact. I've been studying her schedule, and she goes patrolling from 6 p.m. to 3 a.m., Nezu said. I have a class to teach, Nezu. Midnight and Present Mike have other things to do. We don't have time for Moon. Assign someone else to do it, Aizawa said. Please, Eraserhead. You 2 also. She really does interest me. I feel there's more to her and she could be useful. We know she's intelligent. She's hacked lots of our sites. Her quirk is also something we could use. Telekinesis. She has a quirk? The 3 teachers said in unison. Yeah, she does, but she doesn't use it on patrol. The only reason we now know is because she ran into a pro hero Hawk and used it to escape, Nezu said. I know you 3 are just as interested as I am in finding out her identity. Aizawa, you quit the pursuit on her a year ago. Recently, she hasn't been very persistent with the patrolling, so she could have gone injured. Let's use that to our advantage and capture her once and for all, Nezu said. We're in, Present Mike and Midnight said in unison. What about Class 1A? What'll they do while I'm out? Aizawa said. All Might. Aizawa said, All Might to teach them. I'm sure he wouldn't mind, Nezu said. Fine, I'm in, Aizawa said. Next week. Next week we'll get her, Nezu said. Present time. At the rooftop, Midoriya would be terrified and Inko was also scared, not for herself, but for Midoriya. Scatter, Inko said. Midoriya and Inko jumped and dodged Eraserhead's capture weapon. They then ran in opposite directions. Shit. Midnight. Mike, go for Moon. I'll take the other one, Eraserhead said while chasing Midoriya. Midoriya had fast reflexes. He knew he could easily avoid Eraserhead's capture weapon. His quirk was also useless on Midoriya. He raised quirks which Midoriya didn't have. He was just worried for his mom since he didn't know about the other quirks. Reject, you okay? Can you hear me? Midoriya heard his mom in his earpiece. Yeah, I can hear you. Are you okay? Midoriya said. Yeah, just keep run. Yeah. Midoriya tripped because of the sudden loud sound and he got up to run again when Eraserhead's capture weapon got a hold of his leg. He knew he couldn't run, so he ran towards Eraserhead ready to fight. Eraserhead ran towards Midoriya and threw a punch, which Midoriya easily sidestepped and was able to kick Eraser in the stomach, sending him flying. The capture weapon on Midoriya's leg loosened a bit, so he slipped out of it before realizing it, and he had knocked realizing that he had knocked Eraserhead out. He walked towards Eraserhead, and Eraserhead was honestly one of Midoriya's favorite heroes now. Midoriya saw that he had an earpiece put in his ear, only to hear, Aizawa, are you okay? We got Moon. Did you get the other one? Midoriya threw the earpiece on the ground, shattering it. He didn't hesitate to run towards the direction his mom went. No, 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 no! Please not her! Not my mom! Midoriya whispered to himself. He jumped roof to roof to hear a bit of the communication in the alley. He looked down to see his mom waking up and she was handcuffed. She was bleeding from her ears. Midoriya, not thinking, jumped down and kicked Midnight from under her feet. She fell on her back. Yeah! President Mike must have overused his quirk on Midoriya, since he immediately fell after his attack. Midoriya was sent flying into a building due to the attack, though he held his ears which were now bleeding. He was determined to get his mom back. Midoriya's ears were ringing, but he didn't care. He ran towards Midnight again, who was standing again, and she held his mom. He jabbed her on the side and then on the back of the neck, which made her fall, slightly paralyzing her. Midoriya went to grab his mom only to be caught by the arm by Eraserhead's weapon. Eraserhead pulled Midoriya toward him and was about to punch him when Inko used telekinesis to hit Eraserhead on the back of the head with a metal pole, which made him go completely unconscious. Run, Reject! Don't turn back! Train hard! Don't give up! Inko said right before Midnight used her quirk, which made pink gas come from her body, causing Midoriya's mom to collapse. Midoriya was about to run towards his mom when he heard sirens. He saw the red and blue and he took his mom's advice and ran. Ran as hard as he could. He was crying. He had just abandoned his own mother. The next day, Inko Midoriya, or known as Moon the Vigilante, had been captured by Midnight, President Mike, and Eraserhead after 3 years, having an accomplice known as Reject, known as Izuku Midoriya, due to a blood test and interrogation. If you see Izuku Midoriya, turn him in immediately. He is quirkless, so it should be easy. That's all for tonight. That's what the news said yesterday. They had uncovered Midoriya's identity and caught his mom. He now lived in an abandoned building since his house was being searched, and he trained harder than ever before, patrolled every night, and being hunted every single night. He was going to prove to the world that just because he was quirkless, that doesn't mean he's weak. That's the reason he started all of this anyways. He was going to do it for his mom, who believed in him since day one, and to prove All Might wrong. Before the house was searched, he took important things like money and his notebook and his mom's diary. He read through it every night, gaining intelligence and information on heroes. He was going to be just like Moon, maybe even better. Eraserhead's quirk, Erasure. He can, okay, yeah, you guys know all of this stuff. Anyways, jumping into chapter 5, Interrogation. The cell room. Same day they captured Inko. Inko was sitting in her cell room as she had quirk restraints on, so she couldn't use her quirk. Inko was worried, not for herself of course, but for Midoriya. She heard her cell door open and she looked up to see Eraserhead. Come on, we don't have all day, Moon. I'm tired. Inko got up silently and Eraserhead led her to Tsukachi's interrogation room, which Tsukachi and Nezu would be there, and Nezu would say, Sit please, Moon. I have plenty of questions to ask, said Tsukachi. Inko cooperated while Eraserhead went to the other side of the room. I'll be asking you questions. You will answer, said Tsukachi. That one police guy, right? Inko cooperated while Eraserhead went to the other side of the room. Oh, I already read that. She just nodded while piercing Tsukachi with her gaze. She hated his quirk. Tsukachi was a literal lie detector. So you're Moon, correct? Yes, Inko responded. True. Have you killed anyone? No. True. Is your name by any chance Inko? Inko stayed silent. Answer the question. Make this easier on yourself, Tsukachi said. Yes. True. So you have a son named Izuku Midoriya. Is he possibly the vigilante that escaped Reject? No. Lie. Sukachi got up from his seat and turned to Nezu. We're done here. Send an announcement to the news reporter saying to search for Reject or Rizuku Midoriya. Smash. Sukachi immediately turned his back to Incho, who smashed the handcuffs and pointed to Sukachi from the other side of the glass. Eraser had erased her quirk. That's my son. He won't get caught by you heroes. If anything, you just gave him more of a reason to get stronger, Inko said. He's quirkless, isn't he? I doubt he'll put up a good fight, Sukachi said. People like you are the reason he stopped wanting to be a hero, Inko yelled while being dragged back to her cell. Silence as they watched her being dragged out. Don't underestimate that kid, Sukachi. He was able to knock me out and paralyze Midnight. Just because someone doesn't have a quirk doesn't mean they're weak, Aizawa said as he walked out of the room. 1 year later would have passed, and from Midoriya's POV, catch me if you can, old man, I said while climbing the side of a building, teasing the villain by holding a bag of money which the villain had just stolen from the bank. I got bored and knocked him out swiftly, handcuffing the man and doing my signature, which was writing on villain's forehead. Reject was here. I reported my location to the authorities and was about to run off when I remembered the bag in my hand. Shit, I have to give this back. This is gonna be rough. I thought as I looked back at the bank, which was now flooded with pro heroes. Even Sukachi was there, examining the villain. I then walked casually towards the bank saying, Yo, heroes, here's the bag of money. Might as well steal it since you all probably only became heroes for the money of fame, I said, quite annoyed as I threw the bag at their feet. They didn't try to say anything to me because I was probably right. Quickly, I ran into the shadows before anything bad could happen. I've become the most well-known vigilante in Japan. In just a year, many heroes were terrified of me even though I never went after heroes. Probably just terrified by the riots of my existence. Many quirkless people have been standing up for themselves after hearing about how I was quirkless and a strong vigilante. The quirkless began fighting against the quirk beings who looked down upon them, and they started riots. I even joined them. I like to call it the quirkless era. As I was walking down an alley, I heard something or someone. I hid behind a trash can and let me tell you, that trash can stunk. I heard a very raspy voice say, We're going to be attacking USJ tomorrow. Would you like to join us? I recognized that voice. Shigaraki, part of the League of Villains. Let's just say I know him because I had a little run-in with him. A flashback to 4 months ago, in an alleyway. Midoriya was walking in the alleyway heading home to the abandoned building he lived in when he heard something behind him. A portal opened and out came a man with chapped lips and blue hair. I had to resist asking if I could help him by buying him chapstick. You're the vigilante Reject, right? Or Midoriya? The blue-haired male said in a raspy voice. Yeah. Now get to the point. I know you didn't come through a portal just to say hi to me, I said, masking my slight fear, since portals were a very rare quirk. My name is Tomura Shigaraki, leader of the League of Villains. League of Villains? You do understand that I capture guys like you and turn them in, correct? Midoriya said, a bit dumbstruck. Yeah, but you're not a hero. You're a vigilante. Your mother also won, but she was caught by those heroes, wasn't she? Join us. We'll make them pay for the things that they did. Together. Listen, no hard feelings, but I don't want to be a villain, nor work with one. I'm a solo team. I'll do what I want to do alone, and thanks for the offer, but I'm gonna have to ask you to go through the portal you came from. I'll let you off easy, Shigaraki said. I was properly annoyed. It's 3 a.m., which meant patrol was over, but I wouldn't hesitate to add a few more minutes to my patrol hours just for him. Listen, kid, if you don't join, I'll have to kill you, because I didn't come out for nothing, Shigaraki said, annoyed as well. Looks like we'll have to fight then, I said, getting into a stance. Shigaraki seemed shocked but still charged me, reaching for me. I'm assuming something happens when you touch me, huh? I said while sidestepping him and undercutting him. He flew backwards, grabbing his jaw, clearly upset. I then grabbed the trash bag and threw it at him. He grabbed it, and when he did, the whole thing disintegrated. Nice quirk, Shiggy, I said while giggling. He then said, Kurigiri, get me out of here. I'm done with this kid. A few seconds later, the same portal from earlier opened, and Shigaraki disappeared. Shigaraki, you crusty B-word, I said while heading home. Present time, and Midoriya's POV. I peeked around the trash can just enough to see 2 villains, Shigaraki and some random villain. I knew I should stop them. When I was about to intervene, I heard the villain say, Yes, I would like to attend. Good. Walk through this portal with me and we'll include you in the attack tomorrow, Shigaraki said. They left. I was a bit bummed they didn't capture them. I just made my way back to the rooftop I usually sit on during patrol since I had only a few hours left. USJ, huh? Wait, isn't that a place where UA students train? Wait, Bakugo, he attends UA. Damn, I need to stop this, Midoriya thought as he ran home. Chapter 6, USJ. Midoriya's house. Midoriya ran inside the abandoned house he lived in and quickly headed straight to his room, grabbing his laptop. He opened it and searched UAHeroSchoolOfficial.com. Not a real site, by the way. He then went to the administration searching for a specific teacher. He had been on his website plenty of times before, only to see the students in each class, and also looking into the hero on school campus. Bingo, Midoriya said as he clicked on Shoto Aizawa, or known as Eraserhead, teacher of Class 1A. He was the only hero he knew that teaches at UA. He got his email and sent him a message with his own fake email. I know you're planning on going to the USJ today. I was walking in an alley and I overheard a conversation between two villains, saying they plan to attack the USJ. So please, either don't go or be prepared. Yours truly, Reject. I hope he reads that soon, Midoriya thought. Ding. Oh, okay. I know I said soon, but not this soon, Midoriya thought. He looked at the message that was sent. Reject. I don't really know if that's you, but if it is, I'm positive that those villains won't be able to get in here. We have a strong security system The students will be fine. I will have to block this email since I don't want any spams in case you aren't, Reject. Yours not so truly, Eraserhead. No, Midoriya thought. He knew that those villains would be able to get in with Kurogiri. Damn it, Midoriya shouted as he slammed his laptop shut. Midoriya grabbed his phone to look at the time. It was 4 a.m. What is a UA teacher doing up at 4 a.m., Midoriya thought. Midoriya got up from his desk and went to bed, and just as he laid there, he would think to himself, should I just stay out of it? I mean, I did try to warn them. No, I should go help, and since I know what's happening, but I'll be in lots of trouble if I get cornered. What if I'm wrong and the security is good enough? How will I get in? Bakugo will be there. What if he sees me? What'll he think? Midoriya slapped his hand over his mouth. I'm muttering out loud again. An old habit, Midoriya thought. Midoriya then slowly went to sleep, not even bothering to change out of his vigilante outfit. 8 hours later, Midoriya woke up expecting it to be 6 a.m., but he looked at the clock and it was 12. I slept in. Well, at least I got some sleep. Wait, USJ, Midoriya thought, as he quickly ran out of his home towards the USJ. He jumped from roof to roof until he found the USJ, and he was on the glass part looking at the USJ downwards. He was relieved to see that nobody was there yet. What if I'm late? Thought Midoriya. Just then, the USJ doors opened to reveal Class 1A, Pro Hero 13, and Eraserhead. They looked as if they were talking until a portal appeared in the middle of the USJ. I knew it, Midoriya thought, as he broke the glass and jumped into the USJ, landing on the ground. He ran towards the center of the USJ where Eraserhead already was. I tried to warn you just to stay away, Midoriya yelled at Eraserhead, as Midoriya was now taking on groups of criminals alongside with Eraserhead. Reject! What in the world are you doing here? Shigaraki screamed. Stopping you. Isn't that obvious? Shigaraki then laughed. You idiot. I didn't really want to have to hurt you. I was hoping to have some sort of truce, really. Midoriya took out the rest of the criminals he was fighting and looked at Shigaraki. Shiggy, I would have never teamed up with you. Sorry, but you act like more of a child than me. With that, Shigaraki told something to his buddy Kurogiri, and he opened a portal, which then a bird-looking thing came out. Disturbing, really. Ew, Midoriya said while fake gagging. Nomu, kill him, Shigaraki said in a monotone voice while pointing at Midoriya. Just then, Midoriya jumped, avoiding what could have been a fatal attack. Midoriya had practiced to speed often. This was what he trained for. Midoriya was quick on his feet. As soon as he landed, he pulled a knife out and he charged the Nomu, which ran past him and towards Eraserhead. Midoriya was going to go help Eraserhead when Shigaraki charged Midoriya. Midoriya dodged, but not in time. Shigaraki had grabbed his arm, disintegrating his skin, which was painful. Midoriya then punched Shigaraki with his good hand, sending him flying. He looked over towards Eraserhead, who was beaten up badly by the Nomu, and Midoriya took the opportunity of the Nomu being distracted to stab it in the exposed brain area, which caused it to go limp. Cheater! Cheater! Shigaraki yelled like a child. Midoriya saw 1A students and grabbed Eraserhead, who was unconscious, and went towards them. It was some frog girl and grape dude. He simply put Eraserhead down in front of them, saying, take him somewhere he can be treated. Those injuries can definitely be fatal if not treated, so Midoriya was then punched and sent crashing into a wall, his ears ringing, but he could make out Shigaraki laughing. Midoriya coughed up blood as his vision would become blurry, but he refused to give up. He looked up and saw the Nomu standing right in front of him, ready to deal a fatal blow, which Midoriya knew he couldn't dodge in his condition. Is this really how it's going to end? Midoriya thought. I am here! All Might, Midoriya said. In the blink of an eye, Midoriya wasn't in front of the Nomu. He was in All Might's arm. Reject. I underestimated you. Stay put. You're in fatal condition, All Might said as he put Midoriya on the floor and ran into the battle with the Nomu. Midoriya, being stubborn, didn't listen to All Might. He got up and looked to see the battle with All Might. All Might was halfway in the portal. He knew if Kurogiri closed that portal on All Might, he'd be a goner for sure. Midoriya, without thinking, went to attack Kurogiri, going to stab the metal part of him. Boom! Kachan! Midoriya thought, as Bakugo slightly blasted Midoriya away. Move, you vigilante! Nice to see you too, Kachan, Midoriya said sarcastically. The distraction was enough for All Might to get out of the portal. Midoriya and Bakugo glanced at each other, and Midoriya then heard footsteps behind him, and looked to see a familiar spiky red-haired, a redhead and a white-collared hair student. Thanks, but I had it under control, All Might said, as he gave a thumbs towards Midoriya and Bakugo. Midoriya looked towards All Might and said, yeah, no you didn't, Midoriya said, giggling a bit, and Bakugo now had Kurogiri in his grip. Such a shame you had to go and get yourself caught by a kid, Kurogiri. Well, at least you gave me an excuse to crush All Might's pride. Nomu! The Nomu charged Bakugo, Midoriya grabbing Bakugo's arm and got him out of the way, avoiding the attack. I didn't need your help, you damn Deku! Bakugo yelled. Deku? The red spiky-headed male said. Yeah, okay, buddy. You would have been smashed to potatoes if I did nothing, Midoriya said. All Might then hit the Nomu, sending him to the center of the USJ. They fought, which obviously All Might ended up winning. But he seemed weaker. Come at me with all you got, Shigaraki, All Might said. Midoriya could hear the concern in his voice. Shigaraki charged All Might and Midoriya went for Shigaraki and he kicked Shigaraki in the chest, sending him flying. You damned kid, I'll kill you, Shigaraki said while standing up, getting ready to charge Midoriya, when multiple gunshots hit him. Kurogiri used his portals to protect Shigaraki and they escaped. Thank you, Reject. You saved me, All Might said to Midoriya. No, thank you for proving me wrong. I used to hate you since I thought you only became a hero for the fame. You proved me wrong today, Midoriya said. So, for what it's worth, thanks, All Might.